They'll have to learn it later. No, maybe I'll just do a live on it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming in on a Saturday morning. I know for Kate and I, it is 8 a.m. So it's a little early. I know one of my new coaches wanted to jump on, but she's also Mountain Time, but she's Arizona, and Arizona doesn't do time changes. Arizona's weird, if you didn't know. And so it's 7 a.m. at her time. So she is probably not up yet. But I'm super excited just to really connect today and bring these Saturday morning calls back. They just kind of fell off. I don't know why. I don't even remember why. But we were having a great time with them when we had them going. And so I think I'm just on fire right now. Carissa has been such a great partner right now. And we've just been really kind of pushing each other a little bit. I think just by seeing her do stuff, then I want to do it, and just seeing other people do stuff, then I want to do it, and I'm inspired to just get out there. And I've really been showing up with my tracker every single day, completing it in full, and it's paying off. The tracker is real. The tracker, when you do it and you actually are doing the daily activities, you see results. I've signed 3 coaches this week, and one who wants to build this business, one who also wants to build, but she needs to work on her own journey first, is just struggling through some things. And then one is a discount. But 2 of those people have been watching me for years. And one was a customer, one was not. And then the third one was a referral from a friend, which is huge, which is great. And it's actually a friend who moved out here from Chicago, and she doesn't really engage in my groups that much, but she loves our workouts, and she should be a coach herself. And so when she referred this friend, I was like, Jen, what are you doing? This should be your and now she enrolled as a coach, and Jen will probably sign up as a coach too at some point. But now her friend is a coach with me, but they'll just work together and it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it, but it's just cool that the referrals come in. And then huge shout out to Adriana, signed her first coach yesterday. Yay. And it's her first challenge pack in general, which is huge and so exciting. And just by reaching out, she's just been showing up, posting on her stories and doing a post every day. I just see you showing up in such an authentic, genuine way. And every time she's like, does this sound okay? And I'm like, that sounds awesome. Go, you're doing great. I think you're just sharing with such authenticity, and I think that's huge and awesome. So super excited for you. I think Kate's been having some success as well with her 3-day refresh that she's running. So Kate's running her first group on her own in BOD groups, which is awesome, as is Adriana's going to do. She had a bunch of friends who were like, I don't know, I don't want to spend any money yet. So I said, do the 2-week free trial with them and do a separate group for yourself so that you get used to running your own group. So that's awesome too. So good. Some shout outs to you guys. Adriana, did that other one enroll yet? Okay. Oh, you're muted. Oh no, I can't hear you. You're not muted, but I can't hear you. I don't know why. I'm getting cold. That's weird. I don't know. Sorry. Oh, well. Not yet, but she will. And you're continuing that conversation. So this other one, we're hoping, because she wants her focus is wanting Shakeology. So we're like, enroll as a discount coach, but she didn't understand it all, I don't think. So Adriana could possibly be enrolled this week, which is huge too. So super excited. But let's try and get your sound working. Maybe jump off and jump back on.
Sure, yeah, I'll try that.
Oh, there you are. There it is.
Okay. Yeah. All right, cool.
So I did just want to connect, because Kate and Adriana are kind of new. Vicky, Carissa, and I have been around a while. There's other coaches that have been around a while, and with some newer coaches. I think just and not even just to get to know each other, but I think there's power in sharing your story on a regular basis, you hear things yourself that you're like, oh yeah, you know, like, okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part. I can share about that, you know, like, so I think just like, and doing it quick, and you don't have to tell every facet of it, but trying to, like try and do it in, let's see, how many people do we have? We'll see if Katie will be able to talk. I know she's always got her kiddos with her. Say 5 of us and we each do 5 minutes. I think we could do that. Try and do it in like 5 minutes, which is so hard for me because I could just talk forever. So hard to tell my story in 5 minutes. I did it on Instagram story or an IGTV the other day, and it was 10 minutes, and I was like rushing just to get done with 10 minutes. No, I was talking about like how to coach as well. So that added a little bit more, but I couldn't keep it short. So anyway, does somebody else want to start? Does somebody want to do theirs first? Or do you want me to do mine first? What do you think? Awkward silence.
I think you need to go first.
Oh yeah, you can go first.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I like to try and keep, or whatever. My stories.
Go, please. 9:22. Go.
So I don't know. So hang on. Am I doing my health and fitness story or my coaching story or both?
I don't know, but your time's ticking.
Thanks for calling me out.
Such a teacher.
I just want to
Holding you accountable.
But although I'm like the one creating it. Anyway, I mean, it kind of starts with both. So I was anorexic at like 2021 after gaining the freshman 15, 20. And just got in a really unhealthy place with health and fitness back in diet culture days. I mean, this was 1996, so long time ago. Super diet culture. Unfortunately, all we knew was to restrict calories and work out a ton. And it wasn't focused on health. And then I got to a healthy place, got married super young at 24, and then unfortunately got divorced soon after that at 25, and really never dealt with my divorce. I just was like, I'll be fine. Everything happens for a reason. Like, I'm going to move on. And unfortunately, that led me just down a not great path, which led me to gaining 60 pounds. Had been on diets throughout all of that time, but gaining 60 pounds was not something that I wanted to happen. It just happened due to depression and all kinds of things. And then it was until I was probably around that weight for a few years in a very unhealthy relationship as well at the time. And then my sister was diagnosed with cancer in 2009. That gave me the wake up call to lose weight, but it was not in a healthy way. I would say now knowing what I know now, it was not a healthy way. And so it was Weight Watchers, restricting everything low fat, fat free, all the lean cuisines and 100-calorie packs that you could eat. I didn't know anything about health. Although funny, my mom would always be like, at around that time was diagnosed with celiacs. And so she was like, I think you should, really focus on health and gluten-free and dairy-free and all these things that she was finding out. And I was like, what? No way, Mom, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're crazy. But I did lose the weight following Weight Watchers, focusing on nutrition at first, really just diet at first, then started working out. And then my best friend was diagnosed with cancer, and I moved to the city of that same year that she was diagnosed. And then when she was put into remission, so my city life kind of changed. I gained about 20 pounds. And then when she was put into remission and was like really learning about food and actual health and like what it takes to kind of cure our bodies was the hope. You guys all know that unfortunately she did lose her life, but she was really focused on what she could do to be healthier and put good things into her body, that inspired me to do the same, because I had seen my coach Lindsay posting a clean eating group, and I was running a marathon at that time. And at that point, my health and fitness was at a point of like, I was still not eating great. I was still eating a lot of lean cuisines. I was working full time, so it was easy to just throw one of those in my lunch bag and bring it to work. But I was working out. I was training for a marathon. I was working out, but I would be training for a marathon, which doesn't really get you in shape, by the way, because you're eating so much, because you're running so many miles. And then I knew that once that was over, I wasn't going to be running 30 miles a week, so I couldn't just eat the way that I was eating. And so I needed a change. And so Lindsay was running this group, happened to start the day after the marathon, joined her clean eating group. Right after that, joined her challenge group and told her, don't try and sell me anything. I've already tried Shakeology, which I had back in like 2009. I actually was a coach also back in 2009 because I wanted the discount on Shakeology, but I didn't do anything with it because I had some random person be like, I'll help you. And I was like, I don't know who you are. I was that person that like signed up for like a coach account without knowing anybody, like just went online and was like, oh yeah, I want that, and was assigned to some random person. Anyway, I had canceled that obviously. So I tried it, and I had P90X and Turbo Fire at home. So I was like, I have a program. Don't try and sell me Shakeology. I just want to be in the group. I love all the nutrition help, and I love checking in with the group and all of that. And so joined her group. By the end of that 30 days, I was like, okay, I want to do T25 and Shakeology and be a coach and pay this forward and help everybody in my life like feel the way that I feel. Because I finally was like, I felt so good with the way that I was eating. I just felt like I could help everybody. It's the teacher in me that feels like I could help everybody. So that was November of 2013. And here we are today. Boom, 5 minutes. I mean, it doesn't get into like the coaching piece, but I think that's how I got to coaching, I guess, which I think is where most of us need to practice talking about it. So, did it. Mic drop. All right. And it's just always cool. It is always cool to just like tell parts of that again, and remember, and it might inspire one of you. Who knows, Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. So, my story, like, really, can you hear me? Am I muted? Okay. So my story really starts with just kind of the yo-yo dieting type of deal, but also never really figuring out how I actually lost weight, and always really struggling with that and trying to get over that hump. Like when I was a little girl, I went to Catholic school and had to wear uniforms, and the uniforms didn't fit me. They didn't make them in a size that fit me very well, because I had to wear jumpers that were tight in weird places, and we could wear pants and my mom would have to put elastic in them, and I was so embarrassed. And then the principal told me I couldn't wear pants with elastic. I had to wear the uniform approved pants. And I was mortified. And so I would have to, I hated shopping, and now I love it. I hated shopping because I had to go to the big girls section. I had to shop at 579, which was like a junior store back in the day when I was not a junior. I wasn't a teenager, and those were the sizes that I was in. And I specifically remember too, when my mom discovered lean cuisines and walking, like mall walking. She was a big mall walker with her friends and ate lean cuisines and dieted and lost a lot of weight, and we were the same size, and we should not have been the same size. And we would share clothes, and my mom thought that was the coolest, and I hated going into the dressing room and trying on the same pants that she was trying on. And so that's always been something that was really hard for me. And then all of a sudden I got into high school and I was in sports. I was a I don't want to say horrible, but I was not a good athlete. Like I did not make a lot of the teams, but I went to every conditioning and every practice. And all of a sudden I started losing weight, but I didn't really understand how. I just wasn't eating very much. I was eating candy bars for breakfast and McDonald's French fries for lunch and working out like crazy at practice. And all of a sudden I lost a ton of weight. And people noticed and I got attention from boys and I liked it, but I didn't really understand how I had lost weight. So then when I went to college and I stopped working out and going to practice and eating dorm food and not lean cuisines, which I would have for dinner because that's what my mom ate, then I gained all this weight back. And so it was this constant thing. Then I moved out into an apartment and I started running like a mad woman and again, eating those lean cuisines and 100-calorie packs and just not enough food. And I lost weight again, but I never knew how. So, I mean, it just kept going back and forth. I became a teacher. I had horrible nutrition then. I never worked out because I didn't have time. I would be starving after school and just eat candy bars because that was in my drawer. So then I gained it all back. Then a couple years later, I got engaged and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get married. And so I need something. So I did Weight Watchers because I didn't know what to do anymore. So I did Weight Watchers and I did my Fitness Pal and I counted my calories. And again, I lost weight. I joined a gym. I signed up for classes that started fun with no rhyme or reason. I just went and like worked out and it worked. Until it didn't. I didn't know what I was doing. So as soon as I got sick of tracking my calories every freaking day or my points, I was like, I don't know what to do. I just want something that's like easy that I'm not having to sit here and look up everything I want to eat before I put it in my mouth. And, then the class would change. The time would change. I couldn't go to that class that I really liked anymore at the gym. Then we moved to where I'm teaching now, and I didn't want to have to drive all the way back to my gym to go there. So it was just always things where I was like, why can't I figure this out? So fast forward, I had kids. I gained 60 pounds with my first pregnancy, and I lost most of it, but not all. And then a couple years later, I got pregnant with my daughter. And that time I only gained 45. So I thought that was amazing that I only gained 45 pounds. And then when she was 3 years old, I still was carrying around 20 excess pounds then from when I was, before I got pregnant. And I was like, you know what? I'm working out. I'm going to the gym. I'm trying not to eat carbs because that's what my gym instructor told me when I was like, I can work out. Like I can go to all your classes. And they were hard. They were like the ropes and like all the way, like circuit training, like hard classes in the morning, like but early before work. And I was like, if I'm doing this much and he's telling me what to eat, which was don't eat carbs, don't eat things that are white, like anything with white, like potatoes or whatever, just do the no white diet. That's what he told me. And I would try that for as long as I could until the weekend came. And then I would eat like pizza on Friday nights because I'm like, I got kids, like we got to have Friday night pizza night. So I just kept, lost 3 pounds Monday through Friday, gained the 3 pounds Saturday, Sunday. And it was just maintaining. So I was like, well, I'm good with maintaining. I must be healthy. I'm strong. I'm working out. This is just how it's going to be. And then I saw my coach, Megan, who I knew only because our kids were in preschool together. And she was posting things on social media. And she was always positive. And I really was like, dude, this mom has got her crap together. She is like totally fit. She's a mom with 3 kids and I only have 2. So what in the world? It's probably because she runs all the time. So that's why I was like, I better just keep running and go to the things. And I never would have joined her had she not reached out. And she didn't even reach out about a challenge group. She reached out because one day I posted that I was home with a sick kid. And all she did was message me and said, who's homesick? Which is a totally normal thing to ask somebody. And I started chatting with her because it was Cody, who she knew. And we just chatted very briefly and that was it. About a week later, she posted about a free clean eating group. And I messaged her, or I commented that I want in, but I figured it was probably like, I always say this, it was going to be like roots and tree bark and weird ingredients that I had never heard of. And if I couldn't eat lean cuisines and 100-calorie packs and I was going to have to go buy weird ingredients that you can't find at Walmart, then I'm not going to do it. Except for the fact that I knew she lived just down the road in Dewey, Illinois. So I was like, I don't really think that she's going to be like that. And of course she wasn't. And it was all about nutrition, which is what I was missing. And within those 2 weeks, I lost 5 pounds, and I did not gain it over the weekend. And I was eating more food than I ever had, including carbs. And I was like, what in the world? Then she offered me the 21-day fix challenge pack. And she said, and you know what? Actually, this weekend, my coach, Amanda, is offering a $10 Target gift card. And I was like, sign me up. And Amanda sent me a Target gift card for $10. Actually, I'm pretty sure I purchased before that offer came out. And I saw it. And I was like, wait, do I still get the Target gift card? She was like, yeah, you get the Target gift card. And I spent $160. Huh?
No, go ahead.
I spent $160 on Shakeology, which I fully intended to return because I already made my own protein shakes and I didn't really understand what it was. But yeah, that's where it changed for me. And I lost 8 pounds. In addition to those 5, I lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks with the 21-day fix and Shakeology. And then I was like, okay, I'm not returning this. In fact, now I want the discount because she offered that to me later. I did not purchase another challenge pack. I filled out that form to get my coach reimbursement money paid for because I had bought a challenge pack and I was a discount coach. And I continued to get results. And when people at work saw me drinking out of my shaker cup and saw me slowly like shrinking and bringing these containers in my lunch bag, people started asking me, what are you doing? And then that was when I was like, all right, Megan, I want to do this. And I did. And I started very simply with the power of 3s, which was 3 people a day, because that's all I could do. I would add 3 people. I would find 3 people to talk to, and I would invite 3 people. And I did that every single day after my kids went to bed. And that's all I did to start my business. And then it just kept going from there. And that's how I started as a coach. I didn't even look at the time. That was
I think it was longer, but it was good. I was engaged, which is good. And what I heard was Megan engaged with you.
Yeah.
And then you started seeing her post more because she engaged with you, which goes back, I just got the chills, which goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning of the call, is that engagement, because you're going to show up more. If you're engaging with people, they're going to see your content more. And then
and if people, like when I have coaches that are afraid to post, I'm like, well, why did you join me? And they're like, because you were posting a lot. And I'm like, was it weird? Was it creepy? No. Okay, well then do that.
Exactly. I love it. So good. And then the power of 3s for newer coaches. Yeah. The power of 3 is huge. I know, Kate, you've been just trying to focus on 3 people, like keeping that number small and manageable for you. Mm-hmm. For sure. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
All right, I'll go.
All right. I think we're going in order of sign up at this point.
Probably.
Did you get a $10 gift card from somebody?
I forgot about that. No, Adriana was like last week was like, can I offer like a $5 Starbucks gift card or something? I'm like, yeah, good idea. I forgot. I forget to do those little things because I think they're like, I don't know why I now think they're salesy or cheesy, but they're not. People like them.
No, I loved it. I spent that $10 real quick.
Yeah. Vicki, I'm not going to be rude, but I have to pee. So I'm going to listen. I can hear in my little itty bitty apartment. I mean, bathroom's right there.
You're not going to take the computer or the phone with you. I mean,
no, No, I'm not going to do that. Have you seen that?
No, but I've heard.
And I will do
that. It's like gross. Okay. So my story starts, I don't know, 5-ish years ago, I guess, is when it starts before then. So vanity is my best friend. I am the most probably vain person on the team. I care about how I look, hence the headband, because I need my freaking hair colored. I think I've always felt like if I looked good on the outside, I'll feel better on the inside, which is a bunch of bullshit. I also cuss a lot, so I'm sorry. If you have little kids around, you might want to mute me. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I have tried every quick fix diet. So after I had, when I was younger, if I start back to when I was younger, I was super, super skinny. It was just a genetic thing. I was super skinny, never had to worry about weight ever, ever. Even in college, didn't have to worry about it. I didn't, even if I gained, actually I could have probably used the 15 pounds. I was super, super skinny. And then, you know, things, you know, as you age, things change, and I had a baby, and I wanted to lose the weight, and I did pretty quickly. I did Billy Blank's Tae Bo. I loved him. And that was great. But then as I started heading towards, you know, late or my 30s, and being a mom, and my husband traveled all the time. I worked full time and he traveled all the time. So I was like a single mom, but I wasn't, but it felt like it. You know, things, you know, you just chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese and whatever the kid's going to eat. And I don't remember eating at work at that time because we lived in North Carolina at that time. But then, you know, 2001 hit, the recession hit, and Michael lost his job. I lost my job. So we moved back we live in Illinois. We moved back here. He had a job. I went back to school and I got my teaching certificate, and, you know, still had my son, and started teaching and whatever. And I'm like, oh, so I tried the It Works. I tried the fat burners and the teas and the whatever else was out there, because I wanted to, again, if I lose weight and I look good and I look young, and I've tried every facial thing too. So, you know, ask me, I can tell you what it's going to do for you, which is pretty much nothing. You know, I've tried it all and nothing was working. And I had chronic headaches. I took a Prilosec every day. I took, I would say probably 8 ibuprofen or Tylenol every single day. I was miserable. I felt like shit. And I felt like shit inside. And I was the most, I don't even know, nobody would have known, because I could fake it really good. People thought, oh, she's so good and positive and happy. And no, I was not. And then my world stopped. When my son turned 14, he tried to commit suicide. He, super depressed, anxiety, ADD, all the 9, all of it. And so from the time he was 14 until the time he was finished with high school, that's where my whole life was, right there, trying to figure out how to fix him, how to help him. And as a parent and as a mom, you can't. You do all the things. You take him to the doctor, you get him on medicine, you restrict the things, you whatever, and you can't fix it. And that's the hardest thing as a mom to ever have to. I let myself go, of course, because it wasn't about me, it was about him, which was the biggest mistake, because then my own anxiety, my own health kept declining. I got sepsis, which I almost died because of it. And that was my wake up call. Like, I need to take care of me. And I, you know, I don't know. I got these organic protein shakes that were good. And I started eating whole foods. I started all of that, which was, you know, I finally said, okay, none of these quick fixes are working. And I started feeling better. And I started to post about that just because it was working. And then I started getting some messages. I actually had worked with Megan. Megan is my coach, like Carissa. And I had worked with her for a few years when she was teaching, before she had her children. And she messaged me and just said, hey, you know, great on the positive stuff and all that. And then she invited me to a challenge group, because the one piece I wasn't doing is I wasn't consistently working out. I had a gym membership actually at the Y. It was pretty expensive. That I would go maybe once a week, just because I couldn't fit it in my schedule. Well, I couldn't fit it in my schedule. Anyway, and this was, my son was, when I joined the challenge group, he had already was about to graduate high school. So we were in the roller coaster. Doing the containers and learning how to eat properly, the right portions, and then also adding in the workouts. I've started to feel really, really good. But what was more transformational for me was finding people who fed my soul, who was positive. They, because I had so much, I don't want to say negativity, but because, it's my kid, but I had so with him, and I needed that break, I guess. I just needed that. I needed to be surrounded by people who were going to A, pray for me when I need it, and B, just give me something else to focus on. And I think that is why I signed up as a coach. I mean, the discount, of course, because I too was like, I already got a protein shake. I don't need this Shakeology. I'm sure I'm not going to like it. I've read the reviews, whatever. What it did for me was it, for sure, like the Shakeology, it kept the cravings away, and the whole thing. I lost 20 pounds between my two things that I was doing. But again, it wasn't really even the weight that I needed. The confidence that I gained and the love for myself that I gained, and just the reason I stay with this is because of the people in this group, because I need this. Because you know what? Depression and anxiety don't go away. My son doesn't live with us anymore, but I mean, even just a few weeks ago, he had major issues and police got involved, and it was, it's still there and I can't fix it. And that still is something that, I pray about, and I do go to my group. I don't go to anybody else. I go to this group and ask, please pray. And they do. And that's everything for me.
Oh my gosh. I knew some of that, but I didn't know all of it. And gosh, you have so much that you can help people that could be struggling with their kiddos. Oh, it makes me want to cry. That's me. But like, I don't even have kids of my own, but like, I see moms who have kids that are struggling and they're not taking care of themselves, because I get it, right? Like, I'm sure in the beginning of it, you're just like, you just want to fix him. You just want to make him better, and you want to make your kid better. But like, gosh, what you learned, that like, you have to continue taking care of you so that you can be your best you, to be able to help him and not fix him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, try to help him as much as you can, but not fix him. Oh, thank you. You touched me today. That's right there. That's so good. All right, if we're going in order, then Kate's next, if that's okay, unless Adriana wants to go next.
I can go.
All right. Was Josh? Who's Josh? Was Brad?
Who's Josh? Yeah,
Brad
Brad
just there, like,
waking up.
what are you doing? Oh, he's
Brad's just getting up, and he was like, "Did you feed the dog? Did you take him out?" So for me, I think it's easier for me to start with the present, where I am right now, and I feel like I've been going through a lot of change. I have a lot of change the past 6 months. Like in October, I quit my job and decided to go to esthetician school. And so that changed like everything, my routine and everything. And then back in the school life, and it's like was part-time. And so with that, and then meeting Brad in December, so we have a new-ish relationship. And yeah, doing all that. But 2019, I jumped all in and was like, all right, I discovered Beachbody through Amanda, meeting through a mutual friend, and jumped all in and like was all about it. Started with T20, Transform 20, and loved it, and like just started seeing results right away. And like my mind was in the right place, and I started with the containers. And so I think listening to that, I'm hearing like, I think I need to go back to that, because right now I feel like I'm in this, like, I'm kind of just stuck a little bit with my own like confidence and feeling right around nutrition stuff. So I feel like I might need to bring those containers back out, because I did transition then to 2B mindset, which I like, but then I feel like I'm like, oh, I want to just eat all the time, and like 50-50, sure, I could, make that a lot of food. So so yeah, just wrapping my head around the nutrition thing always. I feel like that's always been a thing. Like I love food. I want to eat lots of food and find different ways to like bake things that make it seem healthy, but you know, it in the end, it's still a lot of calories. So let's reframe back. So back to feeling good. All of 2019, like I did Transform 20, did, the 21 Day Fix, I can't think of all the programs, but, doing all the programs that were coming out and really like diving in and doing them full out, but then also still getting like my hips right now are killing me. So I'm just like trying to figure out like, what am I doing that's like killing my body right now? So if it's the overworking out or if it's just other things, so that to me has been hard because, I don't know, what my body's trying to tell me, and I can't go to a doctor right now. So that's, interesting. But back to the food and stuff, but I can totally relate then too, like, definitely did, freshman 15 plus, I've been over 200 pounds at one point and went to Weight Watchers. So I actually was doing Weight Watchers, like even far back as high school. Like I remember going to Weight Watchers and just always being aware of like, yeah, I'm overweight, and then not knowing how to figure it out, and then doing the lean cuisines, doing the, all that. So I can relate to all that stuff. But then still feeling hungry, like eating those and then being like, well, now what am I going to have? Let's see what else. And doing Weight Watchers and
what were your workouts like before?
And then being like an intense, like working out like crazy, like high school. I definitely did hard workouts, like you were saying, like, yeah, I did the body pump, like 24-hour fitness, all that stuff. And even like my rec center at home, like had really hard workouts that I did and like felt like I was like a badass, but then the eating thing was just unknown a little bit, and then with a mother that was always kind of, watching, like monitoring, I think more of that, like, so that like didn't help then going to college and then having buffets 3 meals a day, and endless, dessert. So that, that was clearly, and like say had a roommate and ate her food, it's just one of those things like, wow, food has definitely been an issue. So like learning this new way of eating has been great and a game changer for sure. But now I feel like I just need to get back to basics, or just find the new way. Like I feel like, yeah, like our bodies change and just finding the new way that works for me now. And then I'm like Shakeology, then I'm like, I feel like I have to find something to blame. And I've always been like an all or nothing person too. Like I feel like, okay, I'm either all in or I'm not. And then I feel like right now I'm kind of like a little bit in, so it's like, well, that doesn't work. So anyways, I don't talk about my story much and I'm jumping all over, I feel like. So
it's okay. It's good practice.
Yes,
no, it's good practice. I think a piece that I know, just because I know your story, is the workout. I know you're very focused on nutrition right now because that's where you're feeling like you're struggling. But a big piece of why you joined Beachbody was because you were trying to do all the workouts at all the different gyms. For those of you that know what like ClassPass is, you had ClassPass, right?
Yeah.
And like, but then couldn't fit it in after work, and you were still working full time. And like, I think that's still, I mean, right now, that's not something people are struggling with, but
yeah. No,
it's
like
still
coordinating.
a big part of your story, I think, trying to coordinate your schedule and fit in a workout, and then you'd schedule a workout and then something would come up and you'd skip it, and you have to sign up for these workouts ahead of time and all that. So it wasn't easy.
I definitely like the fitness part, like I do the workouts but I also never thought I would work out from home. Like I feel like that was like, I was always like, no, or when I would try it, it would be like, I'd be like 10 minutes in and I'm like, all right, I'm done, and be like, turn it off. So when I, but like I said, I think I had my mindset in the right place when I started T20. I was just like, I'm doing this. And I was like, so pumped. And like, there was the group that was doing it too. And like, and it was fun. And I like jumped out of bed. Like I was so excited to like start the program. Like it was crazy. So, and I still am like, I still like love doing the workouts. And like, right now I'm not doing a set program while I'm working on figuring out which program I want to do.
You may jump on 80 Day
Obsessed. I might do 80 Day. Yeah. So that's the container though too. But I think also what happened with the containers is I felt like I was constantly thinking of the food too. Like, okay, what am I having? And then the measuring and the, like that became almost like a too much of an obsession too. But I almost feel like you might need to do that at the start. I don't know what
plan
you
it
think.
ahead of time and I don't think about it. It's
Yeah.
planned on Sunday. That's what I'm eating.
Mhm.
Period. Like now that I'm back, I am doing time nutrition. Now, Carissa's doing 80-day. She does 2B. Megan's doing 80-day. She still does 2B. So
Okay.
it's definitely, I mean, you don't have to do the time nutrition.
Right.
If that doesn't feel like it's the right thing, I think.
But
you
even
just
with the
need to-
containers, I feel like it's like a lot of like, it's more, it seems like more eating, but then again, I don't know. I think it's in my head maybe. I'm not sure.
more eating, more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're trying
Or
to do
just pay
IF,
attention.
not as many. But I think
Well, and that's the other thing. I don't know. I think intermittent fasting, I don't know. It's like I go back and forth. Is it for me? Is it not for me? I'm not freaking losing weight. So it's like, okay, it's not for me, but is that the reason for intermittent fasting? You know, it's like, it's not all about losing weight, intermittent fasting. So,
I don't know.
yeah.
We can talk
But I
about
feel better when I'm not eating. This is where intermittent fasting is messing with my head now too, because when I'm not eating, I'm like, oh, I love this. And then when I'm eating, I'm like, oh, stressed. Okay, now I want to eat like everything. And then, but I know I need to like eat the good things, but then, oh, but my window's open. I can make brownies out of avocados. So that happened last night. So
So it sounds like it still goes back to just food. Like
Yeah.
we need some PD around food and
yeah,
your obsession with food. And it's not,
I
none
think
of it's
so.
a bad
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
But you're struggling with thinking it's a bad thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think,
Yep.
right?
And then I'm hanging on to it. I feel
So
like
then
it's
you're
like I'm
like,
hanging on.
oh, but I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to do it,
Yep.
but I shouldn't. And
Uh-huh.
you're, it's that should.
Yep. Or it's okay because I'm in my window and all is good, you know. And,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm doing the 50-50, but the 50 carb part is, probably not the right carbs.
Yeah. We'll keep
So do you have the videos for 2B? Because maybe going back and watching some of the videos would work too.
That's a good idea.
Because it's
Yeah.
really focused around the mindset piece of your eating. I know Carissa and myself and Kathy, who's in our group, also have talked about the same thing because, and it could also be, regardless, we're women. And so our hormones, fluctuate a lot. I'm in menopause. So, that totally changed how I eat because my hormones are, well, out of whack. So it does, it has a huge, it affects you, how you gain weight, lose weight, and so forth.
Mhm. And does IF change your hormones, or is it more just supposed to help with the hormones?
It's supposed to help with the hormones is all the research that I've done. I don't do IF. I keep kind of thinking I might, but I don't know. So yeah, but it is supposed to kind of help regulate your hormones. So if you're doing it, it might help with that, sure.
Yep.
But maybe just rewatching some of those videos could help too.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder. Thanks.
Yeah.
For sure. And some of just the little like nuggets, like look at your water bottle. You're drinking out of that water bottle. Read those. Every time you drink your water bottle, read those. And I think like the more you do that, the more they'll get ingrained in your mind. Like I think because that's what those are for, is for the mindset piece.
I have to say that re-listening to the videos, I said for a long time I was going to do, and I finally did it, and I started listening last week, and it wasn't stuff that I didn't know. I just really like Alana, honestly, and I love the way she talks and how positive she is and her mindset around things. And like, I did this certification. Like I know all the things about 2B, but I had gotten away from tracking, and so I started with that. And I went back in my tracker and was like, all right, well, it was a weight loss day for me before. I'm going to try that again and see if it works now, because it's been a couple of years and I'm learning things. But just re-listening to them, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, I'm running out of recipes, and not having carbs at dinner is really, really hard with kids because they should be eating different, blah, blah. But just re-listening to that, and now her book's coming out, and I'm so like I pre-ordered it, and now I'm kind of mad that I did, because now I think they're gonna sell it through Beachbody. I think they said that in the May announcements, which I pre-ordered on Amazon, whatever. But anyways, I think all that and just getting it in your head more and more. And I tried IF for a while. I mean, I was in a slump. And I'm like, no, 2B is where it's at for me. And if I am doing IF just because I naturally am not hungry and don't want to eat until later after my workout, I'm kind of, I guess you could say, having a bigger fasting window, but not because I'm intentionally doing that. I'm just like going back all in with 2B, and it's made a big difference. So plus knowing what program you're doing, like, and knowing what that program is for. Like, I'm doing 80-day right now. And like literally in phase 2, she's like, this is the building phase. Remember, we're building muscle. So when my scale only changes by a pound or doesn't change at all, but yet I feel different, I'm like, okay, it's fine. We're building, you know? And that's why I tell my challengers too, because they're like, do I really have to follow the calendar? I'm like, yeah, if you want results, because if you skip the shredding phase, you're never going to shred. You're only going to ever build. And then you're not going to like what your results if you're skipping around and you don't know what you're doing and the workouts you're doing aren't, you know what I mean? So I'm like, no, yeah, they're designed for a reason. So I don't know I missed some, but I heard about 2B and re-listening to videos, and I said for a long time I was going to, and I never did. Finally I did. So
yeah, she may be jumping on the 80-day with us. She's doing a little obsessed right now.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Jump in.
I love it.
Join the zoo. Today was the zoo, and I hated every minute of it.
I have the zoo tomorrow. You'll see.
That was the one I always hated. And I also wasn't a big fan of Autumn's voice or her.
Oh, she's so annoying right now. She's like laughing at all the dumb things. I'm like,
so stupid, but I do. I
used to love her so much, and now I'm like, you are so annoying.
Yeah.
I actually put music on. So
that's smart.
I don't always do in my workouts, but I do in this one.
Yeah.
And my daughter started doing what she was doing Country Heat.
So cute.
And I was like, oh yeah, do Country Heat. That's perfect. I'll do it with you in the afternoon. And she was like, Mom, like and then all of a sudden she started joining me for 80 obsession. And I was like, and she's like, Mom, she's 8. She's like, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to do 10 pounds. And she'll pick up, and I'm like, all right. She's just funny. Because I was like, why are you doing? I was scared to death she was going to be like, you know, I want to be skinny or whatever. And she didn't. She was like, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to do 10-pound weights today. And then today she didn't join me. And yesterday I started without her and she cried because she was sleeping. And today I started without her, and I went up there after she woke up, and I thought she'd be mad. She was like, Mom, it's my rest day. And I was like, oh, that's important. She's like, I decided the weekends are going to be my rest days because I'll probably have more time to play outside. So but during the week, I'll work out.
Cute. One other thing I love about like even a little obsessed, like they're filling you with like really good stuff.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I just love it. And I like, sometimes I'm like, I gotta write that shit down. So
yeah. And that's, I think, where she's getting it too, because Autumn is always like, it is not about being skinny. It is about pushing you and all this stuff. And she's like, I'm going to push myself. All these things. Of course she does look at it and she's like, oh, I want to wear like a little, you know, because Autumn wears all the booty things. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. But she is kind of like this a little bit. And I'm like, all right, let's tame that down a little bit.
She's a sassy little 8-year-old.
She is sassy.
So cute.
I wouldn't know where she gets it.
No, I don't know.
But she catches crawdads and frog. Like, none of the boys in the neighborhood will pick up any of that crap. They're like, where's Lily? And she'll do all that and get dirty and dig for worms. So I'm like, okay, we're all right.
That's good. I love it. All right, we have one more. I know we're a little bit over an hour already, but that's all right. Adriana.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, cool. All right, so my story is similar to Kate and Carissa's. I was in middle school sharing clothes with my mom, and she thought it was cool because we're like saving money and stuff. And I'm like, this is not good. Like, that was a huge wake up call for me. So because she's like, oh, we can share clothes, but like you should be really losing weight and stuff. So she was always monitoring me and stuff and like judging me and saying like you need to lose weight, like this is not good. And then when I got into high school, like we were always like Lifetime members and Planet Fitness members. And so I was always jumping on like their gym memberships. But like my mind wasn't there. Like I was there physically, but like I just didn't want to be there type thing. I was kind of forced to be there. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nutrimost. That was a weight loss thing that I tried in college. So like sorry, I'm like jumping all over. This is my first time talking about it.
Go ahead.
High school, like I thought my parents kept telling me like I was overweight, but like I see pictures now and I'm like, I think I looked fine. Like I'd love to be that weight now. So that's like my goal, to be like look like kind of similar like that, but like I'm in the right mindset now where I can actually focus on that. So I went to college, and around my junior year, like that's when I really started like noticing my weight like gain. And my parents were recommending me to try Nutrimost. It's kind of like, it was like a thing out in New Lenox in Illinois. Like it was a diet, like, but they kept saying it wasn't a diet, but it was, because I wasn't able to eat certain foods for 40 days. And it was like, yeah, I was cheating too. Like I was like, I hate this. Like I felt forced to be there, but I was doing it because I was living with my parents. So I felt like I had to do this. So it was like, it was eating certain foods, certain proteins, certain vegetables, certain fruits. Like I couldn't even eat stuff that I liked. So it was just super weird. And then graduated from college, and Sheila, Amanda's sister, reached out to me because I started following her. I actually know their mom from church. And I actually came across Amanda's page first, like through Facebook. I came up in my newsfeed somehow. And I was like, oh, like that's Barb Huber's daughter. Like I've seen her before, like through chirp groups and stuff, like running past each other in the office. I was like, cool. So then I started following Sheila and Amanda around the same time, seeing like what they're up to, because I saw that they were posting like stuff in their stories. It looks cool. But I was still going at the gym at the time. I'm like, yeah, I'll stick with the gym. Sheila had reached out to me first, saying like, hey, like I see you're watching my stories. Would you be interested in this? And I'm like, no, like I'm not into that. I like going to the gym, and I don't have money. Like I just graduated from college, and I was trying to figure like shit out.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, I'll stick with my Planet Fitness membership at the time. And then I kept going to the gym, was not losing weight, was not going consistently. I was just not eating the right foods. And then Amanda reached out to me, and I thought Sheila and Amanda like they knew that they were both talking to me at the same time. I guess they did. Then Amanda
Sheila
reached
was
out to me.
actually a little upset. Not bad, but like
I know, I think she was. I felt
like,
so bad.
what? I was talking to her first, and I didn't even know. So
I just wasn't ready when she asked me. All of a sudden, I would.
well, and she just assumed that like we work together, which we do, and help.
Yeah, right. I thought they were talking to each other, like, oh, like they're trying to get me like together on their team. But then, Amanda reached out to me in, I want to say December 2018. Tell me about like same thing, like thanks for watching my stories. Would you be interested in doing a challenge group with me? And I was interested, but I did not have the money. Like I was spending it on coffees and stuff, like Dunkin' Donuts every day on my way to work. And Sheila had reminded me like, oh, you could save that money and put it towards like Beachbody and stuff. And I'm like, no, like it wasn't the right time for me. So then Amanda had reached out to me again in February 2019. And that's when I was really interested. I actually had put away some money because Amanda had reminded me to, like around the Christmas time, 2018. And so I had enough money saved up where I was like, I want to do this. Like I'm ready. And so I signed up as a discount coach in March 2019. And like I've been showing up more than I have at the gym since, especially these past few months, like during the quarantine. Like I got laid off from my preschool job. So I've been like trying to keep busy and trying to show up in the groups as much as I can.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I'm at.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, because you were dabbling and you jump in and jump out, like coaching wise. Like I know you want to help people. Like you have that teacher in you. She's a preschool teacher, and you have that faith that you want to help people too. So like, yeah, it's cool to watch. It's really fun to watch, just so you know. I know I've told you that a lot over the last few weeks, but
Yeah, thank you. It means a lot.
proud
Thank
of
you.
and it's been really fun to watch. So
Thank
yay.
you.
Well, hopefully this was like good practice for everybody, like just to like get some stuff out. Hopefully it was a little therapeutic and like, you know, like I think it is just helpful. And I would urge you today to like go either post a part of your story. Doesn't have to be the whole thing, either written out, or do a little video. Do a little 5-minute video of your story and share it. People are watching things, or do a little part of your story on your stories, like something like, now that it's fresh in your mind, like go share a little bit about that with no expectations. And I think that's part of something I'm working on, is like sharing with no expectation, you know, like sharing with no expectation of anybody joining, but just sharing because it might inspire somebody to make a little change in their life. And that does and will come around. Like I said, this girl, Nicole, that just joined, Nicole, if you're watching, like she'll tell you firsthand. She probably told me no 15 times. I've invited her so many times. And it, again, like Adriana, it just wasn't the right time. And you just have to remember that. It is not about you. It is about them, and like when it's going to be a right time for them. And she's just continued to follow me. And every time she's like, I just can't right now, blah, blah, blah. And now was just the right time. And now she's like, I want to help other people too. And I want to enroll as a coach and all the things. So it's pretty cool. So, all right, guys, have an awesome Saturday. Let me know if you need anything. Happy beginning of May. Let's make May a super strong month. I know like my momentum's like on fire right now. So I'm excited. Oh, let's take a picture really quick before I almost forgot. Should we do a picture or a boomerang?
Oh, it froze.
Yeah, you froze for a second.
Oh, hang on. Like that?
You were like we ended on a good note. Momentum.
All right, let's do a quick little boom. Ready? Do whatever you want. 1, 2, 3. Cute. I like it. All right, I'll tag you guys. Have an awesome day. Let me know if you need anything.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
You're welcome.